That's a pattern that, and I continue to see that throughout my journey of Ordoro, right? The important thing is, yeah, you may have an idea, but if it just sits and lives in your brain, it's of like no use. You have to try it out, and many times you'll fail. And what often happens is that once you get into this, it's like this, like it's a very complex problem space, right?
Mhm.
You need to choose some entry point, and your entry point may not always be right. But once you get into it, you have to iterate. You have to keep listening to signals, and you have to improvise. And then it'll kind of like guide you in like a lot of different directions. And I keep seeing that at like micro scales at pretty much everything that we do. In
Mhm.
even in like new feature development, we decided to get into we get into one area, and then we think this is what we need to do. And then I talk to a lot of customers. One thing that I do lately, and this is uh, uh, particularly this year, is that I've been sitting in on a lot of sales calls.
Mhm.
The benefit of that is I'm hearing firsthand from the customers on what they're looking for, right? And there's always gaps. There are always things that they want that we may not be solving, but it's constantly like feeding this machine in my mind on, okay, this is the next opportunity. So I'm always looking for the next opportunity where to expand. It doesn't have to be a drastic, and obviously it's like drastically different from what we do. I ignore it because I don't have the resources to go there. But it could be incremental from what we do. So I think that's it's the same thing. Like going back to what you said, you have to get in there, you have to tinker with it, and you have to try something out. And when you try it out, you will learn a lot about it, and then you'll figure out what the next move should be. So you
Mhm.
have to like learn by doing, and then you do the next thing by learning from it. It's like an iterative loop, and that's very important.